Today on episode 90, our TCF Peppers episode of Typical Chicago Fans, we have Sinkers and Floaters, the TCF Sports Minute, media recommendations, and the TCF top 3 of Christmas stuff. Let's roll. Hello and welcome to episode 90 of Typical Chicago Fans. It's me, your boy Boomy, on Twitter at BoomyTCF. Make sure you follow the main page at typical_Chicago. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Type in Typical Chicago Fans and you can find us there. Head over to YouTube and subscribe to the page there. Type in Typical Chicago Fans, subscribe for all of our content in video form. Make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts and follow us on Spotify, Spreaker, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. We are there, so make sure you give us a follow. But make sure to give the guys that I am joined with tonight a follow as well. I got Zach at ZLilia TCF. And Maddie at schools_01. We will have some new content coming out on the YouTube page. Me and Zach did a food review tonight, so that'll be coming out here within the week. So keep an eye out for that. But also, thank you to our sponsors for today's episode at 26shirts.com Chicago. Head on over to their website, 26shirts.com/Chicago, to check out some of the coolest Chicago sports merchandise around. They've got everything from t-shirts, hats, hoodies, flags, whatever you need. I got one right behind me. They're the most comfortable t-shirts I own. I'm not lying to you. Head over to the website, find the products, whatever you want. And at checkout, use the promo code Typical Chicago Fans for 15% off your order. Christmas is right around the corner. Get that person in your life something they will love, and that's some good Chicago merch, the best fitting Chicago merch around. Like I said, 26shirts.com/Chicago. Get some great items, help out the podcast, help out great causes. Use promo code Typical Chicago Fans for 15% off your order. Boys, episode 90, how are we doing?
If you notice, I'm in a different spot than before. I'm sitting in the chair in my living room because my legs, they're not really working very well. My arms aren't working very well. Went to the gym for the first time today with Boomy, kind of trying to get on the right track with some sort of fitness.
It's unbelievable.
And
everybody.
I cannot move. Maddie, I don't like it. I just need it.
I don't either, Zach. I don't either.
But every morning I wake up and there's a belly that keeps growing.
I can't be the only slug on this show. Come on.
You have to pick it up, Maddie. Can't let Zach beat you.
No kidding.
Turn it into a competition. Maddie, how are you doing, my man?
Yeah, can't complain. It whatever. It's another day in this wonderful COVID life that we all live, and just kick the can down the road is just going to continue for at least a few more months. So I'm as good as you can be on this wonderful Friday night. There's a little bit of college football, some college buckets tonight, so you can't argue with that.
That is nice, and we've talked about it a million times. Having the sports back is definitely, kind of pushing us through. I mean, imagine, going through all this and not having sports like we did for 3 months.
Remember how bad April and May was?
I just like to pretend like those months just never happened and they don't exist.
That was a train wreck bad.
Absolutely horrible. But let's jump into it. Sinkers and floaters. I will start off with my sinker, and that is music videos. Because in South Florida this week, police barged in and what they thought was an armed robbery at a men's clothing store on Tuesday. They spotted people storming in with rifles. Police arrived to find out it was just simply a music video being shot, and the owners knew about it. Everything was above water. Everything was cool. Someone didn't tell everybody that was around that people were going to be storming in with rifles. The guns were fake, but they were filming a music video in there. So it's bad enough. MTV doesn't play music videos anymore. The music video scene is dead. Everything's on YouTube. There's no need to do music videos. Just put your music out, and they're officially dead now because all the music video shoots are getting shut down by the police because they think they're break-ins.
I have a new thing. Maybe Boomy should take a week off of these wacky web stories because this is where he finds all this stuff.
Yeah,
it's the same website. I get a wacky web story every day.
Well, that sounds like a wacky web story.
I want to just say though, can I veto this one because being an old head, I remember when MTV was all music videos, and it was fucking dynamite, and it was awesome.
And now it's dead.
Give me music, bring them back. Bring them all back.
And I'm with you. I
want Carson Daly and TRL, but I don't want
I was just going to say.
I don't want the 30-second video clip. I want the full videos, dude.
I'm not going to lie.
They used to do the condensed ones on his show.
You say you're sitting around with some of the guys, you're drinking some beers, and you turn on YouTube and you just start watching music videos. Awesome.
Yeah.
It's unfortunately, if incidences like this keep popping up, we're not going to see any more in the history of music. They're just going to be straight music because you can't alert the proper people. The cops come barging in, fully armed because they think it's an armed robbery. You gotta do it right, boys. Like, what are we doing?
I'm at the risk of age, sounding like an old fucker. What is TikTok then?
You're not wrong. You have a valid point.
If music videos are dead, why are all these dipshits making millions of dollars, like looking like idiots? That's all I'm gonna say.
It's hard to argue with.
I don't hate the hustle. I don't hate the hustle. I want to add that. So go get yours while you can. If you're 18 years old, I don't give a shit. Go get it while you can.
I'm with you. And if I really want to see this music video, like I want to see if it looks as legit as.
I'm gonna get you a playlist. You did the whole movies during quarantine. I'm gonna get you 135. I'm gonna get you a 50 music video playlist of heirlooms and relics from the past. Perfect. So perfect. There we go. I got something every day for you.
Had to chime into TRL every day, no matter what. So
beautiful.
On that.
It's going to be a wide variety.
I have a sinker that may be the most controversial one of all time. Real Christmas trees.
I'm with you.
What's the point?
Hate them.
What's the point? Well, I've seen some videos of these people putting up real Christmas trees. Oh, you got to let the branches hang down, get normal overnight. That does not sound fun.
No.
I have a Christmas tree right behind me here. It's a fake Christmas tree, pre-lit. It's easy peasy.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I am 100%.
People want a real tree in their house. A big, I don't even know what that is. Like a pine tree?
Yes.
A fir?
Yeah. What?
Fraser fir?
No, thank you.
Fir.
Yeah, I'm completely with you, man. I am anti-real.
Do you have a real Christmas tree?
I just want to say that we are actually in agreement, boys, because real Christmas trees are dog shit.
Let's go.
Yeah. I was like,
real Christmas trees are way the hell out. I've got 2 fake pre-lit trees for our house because that's how awesome fake pre-lit trees are. You throw them up. You throw a bunch of decorations on them. They sparkle. They glisten. They're perfect. Real Christmas trees are trash.
A few months downstairs, you'll sit downstairs. You don't have to worry about
the needles,
getting rid of it, getting another.
You don't have to water it. You don't have the needles. You don't have all the other crap that comes with it.
Imagine you have to buy a new tree every year.
Imagine hating the environment so much you cut down a tree every year for 1 month in your house.
No, what's great is you get the Christmas trees are perfect if you hack off the top foot of it and throw it in a flower pot out front. You got a nice little decorative outdoor Christmas tree. Just throw a little water in there. That's all they're good for, is staying outside.
But yeah, I just had to say it. I don't get why you'd want a real Christmas tree.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% with you.
A real tree in your house.
I think real trees are definitely completely overrated. Overrated.
Have you ever stepped on a pine needle with a bare foot? It hurts worse than a lot of very gruesome injuries.
Yeah.
So why would you do that to yourself?
And then when you know it's stuck in your foot and you can't walk to the chair that you need to go sit to pull it out, so you got to hobble with your foot off the ground.
And then you're probably going to step on another one with your good foot.
Push your foot push the needle in your foot any further.
I see some of these people do they not measure their houses before they go get a tree? Because
those are the best. The idiots that cut the nets off and it just fucking slams into the.
I know, but my thing is how'd you get
Looks
it in
like
the house?
Christmas Vacation.
Yep. Yeah, I love it. And that's the other thing I don't like, and this is going to be a sidebar thinker that I just thought of, is people that try too hard to be Clark Griswold from Christmas.
Thank you.
Christmas Vacation. Jesus.
Great movie, but people are trying.
Great movie. Yeah. All the National Lampoon's movies are awesome, but it's become too much that people are trying so hard to be Clark Griswold. And
Yep.
Just let it be. Just let it be. My sinker, though, going back to the our last morning show that we did last week, we talked a little bit about the NHL coming back. They had an agreement, tentative in place to start, I think, mid-January, had some division alignment. My sinker, though, is the NHL. Just give me an actual division alignment because they keep bouncing it around. They keep moving teams around a little bit here and there. They're moving the Wild back out west, moving the Blues back to the Central, and so it's just like, it's gonna take a long time for me to wrap my brain around what the league's gonna look like. So can you let me start that prep now as opposed to 3 days before the league starts?
It's not like this just snuck up on you. You knew from the minute that the Stanley Cup got over with that you need a plan.
And you knew the structures in place that the Players Association were going to likely accept. So you knew you had to build some framework there. I just don't see why it's gotten to this already.
Because I know the NBA, maybe they went back a little too early, whatever. You can say whatever you want. It's going to suck for teams like that played in the playoffs anyways, because like the Bulls hadn't played since when, Boomy?
Like the second week of March.
Yeah, like it's going to be different for everybody, but at least they had a plan pretty quickly, and they had.
Dude, it feels like the NBA ended like last week.
Yeah.
Do you know that the NBA has only scheduled 36 games so far?
Yeah, they only scheduled half the season.
I like what they're doing.
That's pretty smart.
You got to keeping the flexibility. You've got the time frames in place, so just use that to your advantage. Keep a flexible schedule. If you need to start regionalizing these schedules and you don't have the East play the West this year, it's not going to cost anything. Who cares?
Absolutely. On the other end, my floater is lottery winners. The state of Massachusetts had to pay out lottery winners to 50 people. Somehow a record number of people, 50 people had the correct numbers between 1 and 35 in last week's drawing. So it would have been, what did they say? It's usually like $100,000, but they had to reduce it to $48,000 per person. So it's great that you hit the lottery. Obviously, 48 grand's no joke, but then you got to be like, oh, I'm getting literally half of that because there were so many people, and then taxes get taken out. Like, yeah, it's great you win money, but like at the same time, 50 people are richer, but they could be a lot more richer if 49 other people didn't somehow have the right numbers, which that blows my mind how that's even mathematically possible. But 50 lottery winners in the state of Massachusetts on one drawing.
That is awesome.
I'd like a piece of that.
Yeah. I wouldn't complain about 20.
I don't care if it's of a shred of 50. I'd take it.
Oh, 100%.
If I win 1 penny, I'm happy. Not really happy, but hey, I won something.
You profit anything.
Yeah.
Yes.
My
floater is for the first time since we ever did this podcast that I can actually say, just like Boomy, hey, I worked out today. I went to the gym. Me and Boomy went to the gym, got my Anytime Fitness. I'm not really 100% sure how this is going to go. First day. Felt good, but that's a first day.
It's a good thing we're not recording this tomorrow or Sunday.
Well, I am sitting in a chair because of this, like a chair in my living room, not my normal chair, because I knew my back would probably cramp up. But just not really like trying to get like huge jacked or anything, but like just trying to not have a belly that you have to look at all the time.
Hey, that's reasonable. That's reasonable.
And you know what?
I still am going to honorarily
shit
call
going on.
you.
It's something to do.
I'm still going to call you a hardo because I have to by law and by rule.
Hey, guess what? I'll take it.
Because when you tell people, it's the payback that you have
Zach,
received.
We will work on the being subtle. I've gotten good at being so yesterday at the gym, I came up and talked. We'll work on that.
I may have made fun of you about it, but
Zach's going to embrace it.
Oh, if I'm doing it, if I'm actually working out, you're going to know about it.
Zach's literally going to be Chris Farley and Tommy Boy. Like, talking to the chick, and you show me where the weight room is.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't enjoy doing it. So if I'm going to do it, you're going to know about it.
If you've got to suffer, everybody else has to suffer.
Nothing huge, but like you may see a tweet here and there. It's just like, at the
mirror
fitness, just want everyone to know. It's also wild that
nothing wrong with that.
It's wild that you can just wake up at like 2 a.m. and just go to Anytime Fitness.
Yeah, like there's people who like live in their vans and travel the country, and they literally like to take showers. They just have like either a Planet Fitness or an Anytime Fitness, so they just go in and shower. It's not bad thinking. I mean, it is resourceful. Yeah, absolutely.
But, also, like I said, it's been a while since I've been in a gym, and very intimidating when you're just like, you're the guy over on the elliptical dying after 5 minutes.
Dude, I've been doing it for 8 or 10 years, and I still die on the elliptical, so don't feel
I always feel like it's such a judgy place, though.
I say, but Matt, at this point, I don't care. I'm here for my
There's days where I need that judgment. I need you to think
I don't mind being shamed. Don't worry. That's motivating to me, is like being shamed. But I still don't like it, especially by people I don't know. I only want my friends to make fun of me. I don't want randoms to make fun of me.
No, that's my motivation, Matty.
Not the randoms, though. I'm just saying
I think the haters are Zach's motivators.
Oh, yes. Yeah. No, I want my friends to be my haters.
Around me when I'm saying the elliptical, maybe the best thing you can do in there. You get on that thing for you just go hard for 15, 20 minutes. That's a good workout real quick.
I'd rather prove someone wrong who I like. So I can continually rub it in their face.
You know what? I'm the other way, Maddie.
Zach wants to rub it in society's face.
Valid.
I need a crowd around me, on there, you suck. You're not gonna get that. I go for now.
You're literally B-Rabbit in the first battle.
Yes.
Just bring it on. Just let's go.
Feeds off the energy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Hey, I don't hate it.
It may go away within the first 2 minutes, but hey.
Hey, whatever gets you going, you just got to find that source.
Get through the gym somehow, I guess.
Got to find that source. My floater, someone in my neighborhood, I don't know her name, I don't know which house they're in, but they're doing something in our neighborhood that is going to make my kid extremely happy on a Sunday, which is going to make me extremely happy on a Sunday. And they're doing this Christmas parade, and the Christmas parade happens to go down my street because my street has a ton of houses with lights on it. So they're doing all a light tour basically for this parade, but there's Santa Claus and all these lighted vehicles and shit. My kid's going to go nuts, and it's going to go right in front of our house. So my floater is people that come up with things like that on this COVID year where there's a lot less activities to do for people to keep themselves entertained and shit. So shout out whoever this person is.
Did you guys see that video of that little kid and then Santa came to the house, gave him a gift, and then the Santa was like, can I get a hug? And then the kid was just like, no.
You're a stranger.
It's COVID. Santa.
That's awesome.
Doing Santa.
Yeah, socially distanced Santa. Come on, go down the chimney and get the hell out.
Your son likes Santa?
Oh, loves him.
I would not say
He calls him ho-ho.
My nephews like Santa. Not the biggest fan of having to go see Santa.
No, yeah. My kid's a big Santa guy. Big Santa guy. He likes getting any packages or boxes, and his big phrase is "Open up, want to see what you got in there." That's how he says it. And
I figured that out.
I can't wait to hear that repeatedly on Christmas for him. So
he's turning into would you look at that guy?
Yeah, he's gonna open it up. Let me see what you got in there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I've thought about just going in the toy box that I have at my house and just wrapping all those up and then just giving all those presents to my nephews because, I mean, they would be just as happy.
That's right. And I don't know, he's about to turn 3. So it seems like that's the prime age for Christmas too, and the excitement and the joy between now and until about 7 or 8 or 9 or so is when this really it really hits hard for Christmas. So I'm excited for this year big time.
25 and I'm always excited for Christmas.
Yeah, it definitely becoming a dad has gotten my love for Christmas is skyrocketed. I will say that.
I guess kind of, and I'm an uncle now, so
yeah.
That's also.
Yeah, I always like buying for my nieces and nephews too. That was always a riot.
Yeah, that's the best part too. Cause maybe you get them something that maybe mother and father aren't the happiest about, like a video game.
I've been trying to buy my nieces a drum set for like 5 years.
Yeah,
and
Nerf guns.
Yep. But yeah, it's definitely the best time of the year. I think that we could all agree on that, especially with, like you said, Matt, all the craziness going on in the world. So it's cool that your neighbors are doing that, and hopefully, Christmas goes as good as it can for people. But of course, we still do have sports, so let's jump into the TCF Sports Minute. Boys, I want to lead off with this. The Bulls played their first preseason game tonight. What are your realistic expectations out of a team that is going through the first season of a complete organizational rebuild, all the way up to the general manager, the head coach, most of the assistants, strength and condition? I mean, literally top to bottom. What are your realistic expectations out of the Bulls this year?
Ideally, I want one more year of a high pick. That's it. I want one more year of a high pick, one more chance at a really good talent, and then let's go.
I don't think we're gonna get that though. I think that they have enough talent on this team that they shouldn't be in that spot. You would think.
You're probably right.
But you never know. But I just feel like this team, I mean, tonight was bad. But I think that I really don't know what to expect, because
there's no reason they can't contend for a playoff spot in the East.
Yeah. Yeah. But everyone's so happy about Billy Donovan, which I am also very happy about that too. But like, how much of a difference is it going to make?
Right.
Well, I'm sorry, but we go ahead.
No, I think that's a good point. Like, as of right now, I mean, yes, there's talent on this team, but is it enough talent to, contend with, even, look at kind of those mid-level teams, Boston and Indiana and Miami obviously is at the top, but like, is it good enough to contend there? No, I think we're still a little bit away. I do think you might see the Bulls trying to jockey themselves again for a top 10 pick. And I'm kind of in the same boat as you, Maddie. I would love to see one more year of a top 10 pick, get yourself in the lottery and let the ping pong balls fall where they may, or the frozen envelopes, or whatever the case is. But this team is going to be improved. This organization to be improved. And I think that's something to look forward to. There's at least some hope there. It felt like we were hopeless in the Gar packs, that had clearly run its course. So, at least there's a little hope. I don't expect them to be in the playoffs, if I'm being honest, but I don't expect them to be as hopeless as they have been in the last, since Fred Hoiberg took over.
No reason, in my opinion, that, Donovan can't inject some life into this organization, this team, and especially the front office with AK as well. Bringing a new approach, a new culture, I think is huge. Those kind of teams usually do have a little bit of a spark and a push towards an 8th seed or 7th seed. It wouldn't shock me if they were one of those teams that made that kind of push. But they could use a little bit more talent, in my opinion. And the only way to really get it, if you're not going to get in free agency, which I don't think they're in that spot to start getting the high-end free agents.
Not yet, I don't think.
I think they need to try to get it via the draft. And, they're not going to be able to trade for a high pick. So.
And on the positive end of that, Karnisovas has shown that he's able to do that through the draft in his time in Denver. So it does.
He does have a track record of picking well in the middle of the first round, like you bring up too. So you got to trust what you get from him too.
I'm really anxious to see what's going to happen in the free agency period, because obviously this year is kind of a complete wash with that. The first year to take over, but for how many years could never land a free agent.
I'm ready to see what Kobe White's got. He's finally getting his chance to start this year, which he should have done last year. And just see what happens. Like, can he lead this team? How does he play out there as the starter?
He's gonna have to be more vocal, that's for sure.
That's the big thing about Jim Boylan, is I think he kind of set that back. He should have at least at some point last year been starting him over Thomas Sadaransky, who what was he going to be, the future of the Bulls?
Yeah, that guy's dog shit. Being a Carolina fan, you know me, I like Kobe White a lot.
I like Kobe White too, and I'm excited to see him get that chance at starter.
He showed up big time. In the last probably 4 weeks, 5 weeks of the season, had big game after big game after big game. And I don't care what you say, it was for a team that's desperate for scoring and desperate for a player. Well, he still went out and did it. He was still putting up 30 points in games and stuff like that. You know, guys just don't fall off the tree and have that ability to do that. So I think you try to tap into what he's got, see what you can get from him. You know, like, you got to play him, man. He's not going to get better sitting on the bench. So like you said, you wasted a half a season sitting behind Satoransky, and it's just like, let's go now. Just let him play and see if he's going to grow, and let's go.
I'm excited to see, is Billy Donovan really going to turn around this team? Like, you're going to know right off the bat. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be noticeable with just how he interacts with the players. Like, you could tell before when the players did not like Jim Boylan. Like, hopefully you can tell that there's more of a camaraderie between the coaches and the players.
Jim Boylan wasn't very likable, frankly, and you're not going to have that kind of outward relationship with a coach like that unless your team is outstanding.
Yeah,
you know, if the team is not kicking ass, they're not going to rally around a disciplinarian like that. Exactly. So you got, if you're going to be a hard ass, you better be good. You know, and it's going to dry up nowadays.
Absolutely. All right, moving on to the NFL, we have not even a full slate of games, but we have NFL Sunday today. Like I said, not a full slate because we had 2 Saturday games, but let's go ahead and go back a couple days. Thursday night's game, the Chargers beat the Raiders and effectively put them on the outside looking in for the Raiders. Not a good loss at all. That's the Chargers were going nowhere. That's at home. You nailed it, Zach.
You can't lose that game.
You can't lose that.
But Justin Herbert, very good quarterback.
Yeah, the kid's going to be tough, man, and I think he's going to get a new coach next year. I think you try to find
Anthony Lynn.
Yeah, it felt like there were times.
When can the Bears get Mariota?
Yeah,
hopefully never, because I hope they draft somebody this year.
Well, I'm just looking for solutions here, Matty.
I understand. I don't know. I've never been a Mariota guy. Never been a fan of him. But he looked good the other night.
He did. But it's also a defense that was not expecting to play against them.
True.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. But yeah, the Chargers win 30-27. Saturday's slate had the Buffalo Bills just beating the piss out of the Denver Broncos, 48-19.
Drew Lock's probably not quarterback next year.
20 for 32 for 132 yards. I mean, I don't know how much of that you put on him. He didn't throw in there.
It looked good.
No, but that team isn't good. It's hard to just say that Drew Lock's the problem. I mean,
I know, but I mean, he had one good game last year? I don't know. I don't know.
And as quick as Elway is, like, got his finger on the trigger for quarterbacks, it feels like he doesn't waste time getting rid of guys. Like, you could very well be right. Josh Allen put on a clinic today, almost 360 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, he was swinging. Stephon Diggs, 147 receiving yards. Cole Beasley, 112. 48-19. That's an absolute rout.
That guy, Josh Allen's incredible. Absolutely incredible performance today, man. He's I mean, obviously Mahomes, I think, is the clear number 1 quarterback in the league at this point. But I have to say, Josh Allen's starting to enter that tier right below.
Yeah, he's definitely up there. It'll be a big test for him, obviously, is getting in the playoffs and seeing what they can do in there with being, he's a young quarterback. Can he had that super weird game last year. Was that in Houston? Where remember, like, he lateraled the ball like at a very, very strange moment. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, he's had such a good year, how he's gonna do in the playoffs. I think Buffalo's up there in probably the top 3 in the AFC. So he is swinging it right now. The other Saturday night, the Packers hold off the Panthers 24-16, move to 11-3, currently sit at the top of the NFC. Not a whole lot here. Wasn't a great game from Green Bay. I think Rodgers got sacked 5 times, only threw for 143 yards. Wasn't Luckily, it was against Carolina. If they do this again next week against Tennessee, we're going to be having a different conversation. But
because the Packers are frauds.
You're an idiot.
Mm-hmm. He's not wrong.
How are they frauds? Just throw out
words. Easy schedule.
Oh, shut up.
Beating up on the NFC North.
Well, yeah,
Sisters of the Poor.
That part does play into it. It'll be a big test this coming week, Tennessee. If you win that game, I mean, a lot of it's going to depend on seeding wise.
This is just coming from a guy who's watched the Packers. The run defense is going to be tough against Derrick Henry. It's not been there really all season, and he's been playing very well as of late.
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, we're a week away what that over is going to look like, but that could be, if it's in the high 40s, low 50s, you could see that one go over.
Is it in Green Bay?
That game is in Green Bay. That is the Sunday night game next week. So
that's going to be cold.
Yeah, it is going to be very cold. We were talking earlier about what the weather is supposed to be like. So Packers need to get it together.
Christmas Eve, a low of 8. What is that all about?
Brutal. That sounds
cold.
That sounds terrible. Let's move into this week's Sunday games. Starting off, the Texans are in Indianapolis. Indianapolis is 7.5-point spread. Currently, Indianapolis is the 6th seed in the AFC. Kind of need the win to keep it going. I don't know if Houston's got anything left in the tank. They clearly showed very little against the Bears. If Indy can get their offense going early, I think it's going to be a rout. But you never know. Houston's so hard to judge. So hard.
Yeah, like I said, the Bears, their defense is just bad. So, I mean, they're just going to have to try and outscore the other team because you saw against the Bears, I think they're 31st in almost every category in the defense. Like, that's not good.
And I think that Houston is missing like 2 wide receivers. One is injured, one's suspended. So I don't know. They're going to have to outscore them, but it's like, what weapons do they have left? Because they're running, thin as it is, and even their running back David Johnson's been, hit or miss if he's playing. But I don't have a whole lot of hope for that game. Indy's got to, if they want to stay competitive in the AFC, they've got to go in and just rout the Texans. Maddie,
it's a dead team. I mean, I completely agree. If Indy's going to prove to be take one of those spots in the AFC, which I think they're primed to do. It's a game they got to win, and it's to make a statement. And I think Phillip Rivers has got to show that he can, still get it done. I think at this point of the year.
Definitely. Also in that division, the Titans host the Lions. Like you said, Maddie, kind of another dead team.
Yeah, that's what I look for at this point of the season. There's teams that have already fired their coaches. A lot of the guys are going to be gone. They're already interviewing for GMs and other head coaching and coaching staff positions. So it's like, half these guys aren't going to be playing on this team, and so it's like, what are we actually going to get out of people?
Right. And I think Matthew Stafford is still expected to play. I feel so bad for that guy having to trot out there every week and just give it. I mean, that guy is just nails. He goes out there and just gives 110% every week for a terrible football team. You almost feel bad for the guy.
His numbers when he retires are going to be insane.
Absurd. He's like we've said a million times. He's a Hall of Fame quarterback. He might not ever win.
On sheer numbers alone, he is. But I don't know that. When I think of Matt Stafford, I don't think Hall of Fame quarterback. You know what I mean, like his numbers definitely. You can't argue his numbers.
He's not won a playoff game, right? They've got to win.
Don't believe so. No, I think the only playoff game they've won is in '91. Barry Sanders. Pretty sure it was '91.
It's wild. That is absolutely wild. Moving to the NFC South, we have the Falcons hosting the Buccaneers. Kind of another situation, a dead team in the Falcons, but they have been, fighting in games. And the Buccaneers currently sit at the 6th seed right now. So if they're jockeying for position, they need to come out and win this one. And Tampa Bay is just so hit or miss. Like sometimes they look like everything everybody expected them to be, and then other times they are like a completely, 180. You can't get a read on it. It's the same team that beat the hell out of the Packers but loses to the Bears. You can't. I don't know. If you guys have a better read on them, I'd love to hear it because I just do not understand the Tampa Bay Buccaneers whatsoever.
No, I'm with you. It's a team that's loaded with talent. You see skill player everywhere, but it's I don't know. Like they don't inspire a whole lot of confidence in you that they're just going to go. Yes. I don't see them going up to Green Bay and beating them in a cold weather playoff game. You know,
they're a 6.5-point favorite, but would either of you be horribly surprised if the Falcons somehow win this game by like 1 or 2 points? Like,
no, I know, especially the way that team's playing for Raheem Morris. I mean, they're the guy's been a head coach before. I know he wasn't very good with Tampa, but it's not like it's not like his first rodeo. It's they've got talent. There's players that have been there for a long time that, had success in the league. It's not like they're, maybe he's found a way to reach them. Maybe maybe he's just doing a decent coaching job right now. Who knows?
Zach, anything on the Falcons Buccaneers?
It could be an interesting game, or the Buccaneers could go out and just blow them out. But I just
to do it.
Yeah, this Falcons team is also a very confusing team.
Yeah,
for a long time they've been.
Yeah, you just don't know what you're gonna get.
Another similar situation: the Ravens host the Jaguars. The Jaguars are horrible, but Baltimore currently, right now, not in the playoffs. They need to come out and lay it on Jacksonville, which they're more than capable. They're a 13-point favorite, but Jacksonville is another team that, like, every couple weeks, like, they'll get blown out 3 weeks in a row, and then they'll play in a game somehow. If Baltimore wants any part of the playoffs, they have to come out. And you lose to Jacksonville, just pack it up and move on. If you lose to Jacksonville, yikes. But I think Jacksonville only got one win. It was in week 1. Yeah, they
lost against Indy.
Yeah, so I still don't understand how Jacksonville beat Indianapolis that week, but either way, the Ravens looking, from the outside in as we speak. But I still am not convinced Baltimore's a good football team. But they're kind of like Tampa, like you said, Matt. Like, they have the talent. They're just they seem to find a way to screw it up. The NFL's figuring Lamar Jackson out.
He played pretty well against the Browns, though, there at the end.
Yeah. Yes,
I don't know if so much of the league's figuring him out if they don't have a ton of weapons around him. I mean, J.K. Dobbins is a good running back. I think he's got a lot of potential, rookie running back. And Mark Andrews is a really good tight end. Yeah, Hollywood Brown, you never know what you're going to get from him, if he's going to pop one off deep or if he's just going to drop a couple passes. So it's like, I don't know. I think he could really use an absolute, he could use Allen Robinson probably more than anybody in the world.
100%.
To be perfectly honest. So,
100%. Zach, anything on this one?
No.
I love it.
But you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those games that, like, it shouldn't be close.
Right.
Jaguars are purposely, they should be, trying to lose these games. And
fraud teams like the Ravens play to their opponents.
They got to win this game. And, like, you would think that they would go out there motivated and win by 40 or 50.
Yeah. But we could also wouldn't be surprised if they come out and it's a 6-point game with 3 minutes left. Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Team in a must-win situation. They're currently the 7th seed in the AFC. The Dolphins host the Patriots, and I know the Patriots are not the Patriots they used to be, but Bill Belichick loves winning in Miami. I know it's two completely different teams than we normally see, but there's a reason this is only a 2-point spread. If Miami wants to be for real, they lose. They might end up on the outside, looking in. So also New England. We've talked like 3 games in a row about teams I don't understand. New England is the definition. I think this. They're not mathematically eliminated, but the odds of New England going to the playoffs are like very, very,
very small.
2%.
At what point does the Dolphins have to consider going back to the beer? Fitzmagic.
Yeah, you kind of at this point in the year, you'd be almost more conducive to have a guy that's had that experience. They're basically playing playoff games from here on out. If you lose, you're probably not getting in. Do you go with the experience versus the new hot shot?
I mean, Tua's playing well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tua's shown enough to be to have some confidence that he's going to be a good quarterback.
How short is his leash going to be today when they play the Patriots? So if he has a bad, quarter and a half, do they?
That's all I'm saying. Is like in the playoffs, if it's just this year only. I'm not saying going forward because Tua's obviously the future of that organization.
But you gotta give him some confidence. Like after one or two quarters, I don't know. I think that would be a tough move.
I just think it wouldn't shock me if Brian Flores got desperate in a playoff situation if Tua was looking a little bit off.
And especially think about that against Belichick, who he being on the other sideline might be thinking a little bit too much into it as compared to a regular game where he doesn't have his mentor in front of him.
Flores is a great coach. I trust anything that guy does.
I agree. It'll be interesting to see how that one plays. I think that's going to be a very good game. Your guys' Bears head to Minnesota in a must-win situation in the hunt, as we keep talking about. Bears are a 3-point dog basically because it's on the road, but like you guys have said a million times, must-win situation.
Yeah, it's must-win. Oh, man. 2 6-7 teams playing for a little playoff spot, at least a chance for the playoff spot. We need the Cardinals to lose tomorrow on Sunday. But
you just need them to lose one of their last three. But definitely tomorrow would be a good one to lose.
It just depends on what Mitch will we get.
Which Mitch do you think we're going to get, Zach?
Which one do you got in your gut? I think we're going to get a great performance.
Deep down, dig deep into that gut of yours. Which one are we getting tomorrow?
I think we're going to get a good quarterback tomorrow.
All right. It's also another one. You had such a good week last week with the Texans. You got to build off.
Fine. Like we got to build. Like it just seems like we'll have one good week and then a bad week. Then we have to consistently have good weeks if we want to make the playoffs. And run the ball. Run the ball. That's all. You saw what happened last week. Yes, I understand it was against a bad defense, but still, you got to give them a chance.
It's not like Minnesota's got a good defense. I mean, they're below average. So, right.
Well, and frankly, David Montgomery showed enough that you can rely on this guy, man. Like,
absolutely.
Get him the ball. Get him the ball in space. Get him the ball in the passing game. Use Cordero Patterson as your change of pace guy. I don't mind it anymore. It is what it is. We're going to see him, so we just got to just accept it. He hasn't been that bad at times.
Yeah, he is the number 2 running back.
I mean, I never thought I would say that. I never thought.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you ever expect to say that?
But it's just kind of what the spot we're in right now without Tariq Cohen out there.
It is.
And I mean, like you said, the last few weeks, it's working.
Don't fix if it ain't broke. Don't fix it.
I just wish we could have those last few minutes of that Lions game back. That's all I wish.
That one hurts. That one hurts really badly.
And it's one of those things yes, the other ones kind of suck, but most of the losses were on the Bears. You got to close that game out.
You're right.
Gosh. Oh, I have nightmares about it.
Moving to another afternoon game, the Seahawks travel across the country to take on the Washington football team. Seattle's a 6.5-point favorite. Guys, I think I'm going Washington football team money line. I am not convinced that Seattle's that good. I think they're currently
Washington
6 seed. If I'm not, yep, they're the 5 seed.
The quarterback for the Washington football team this week.
True.
I think it's
I hope Alex Smith's playing, but it sounded like Haskins was looking more and more likely.
That's what I'm pretty sure.
The Seahawks, they make no sense. They will go and get Jamal Adams and they just use him to blitz all the time, and then they get burned in the secondary. And I'm just not convinced that Seattle's that good. It'll be interesting to see if they can finally bring it.
Seattle's defense is awful.
Bad. I mean, like they went in 5 years from the Legion of Boom to this. I mean,
I hate that phrase, by the way. That phrase is so annoying.
That got so overplayed. And Washington's playing well. I mean, it's not something you think you'd say about a team that's 6-7, but they've kind of put it together lately. But it'll be really interesting to see what happens. No Alex Smith, so they did play like two completely different teams when he came back. The last noon game, the Cowboys host the 49ers. Who cares? Neither team's going to the playoffs. Cowboys are just so bad.
I've got nothing to add to that.
Zach, anything on the Cowboys 49ers game?
I'll probably gamble on it.
I do really like 49ers -3, but
that game could get ugly.
That game also like the under, like both. Then again, neither of those teams play really good defense. I don't know. I stopped paying attention to both of those teams. Speaking of really bad teams, the Jets go to Los Angeles to play the Rams. Rams a 17.5-point favorite. My God, I actually might even play that because the Rams defense is very good. And the Jets is obviously they're the Jets. And the over is only at 44. The Rams might score that on their own. But the Rams, I believe, are the 3 seed right now. So
they are playing very well as of late.
Very well, yes. Offensively and defensively. So
that defense
it'll be
is scary.
You put Aaron Donald out there on any defense, they're going to be scary. He is so good. 2 teams that are fighting for their playoff life in the afternoon games as well. The Cardinals host the Eagles. Cardinals 6-point favorite. I still don't think the Cardinals are that good. They're the 7.
I love the Eagles in this game.
Let's hope so.
I love the Eagles in this game. I really do.
Bears fans, if you want to win tomorrow and it really matter, we need the Cardinals to lose.
Yeah. 4-8-1 of the Eagles are, but the Cardinals, they've won 2 of their last 6, and it should be 1 in their last 6 because of the Hail Mary to Haskins.
The Eagles with Jalen Hurts beat the Saints last week.
Pretty convincingly too. I mean,
there's no way that there is a way that they can beat them.
Yep.
So I'm excited. Because we need that.
The best game of the afternoon, the Chiefs head to New Orleans. Drew Brees is back. Chiefs are favored by 3 points. Do you guys think the Saints got any chance in this, or are the Chiefs just kind of hitting their stride at the perfect time?
I'm taking Chiefs in this game.
I like the Chiefs too.
I don't know what you see from the Saints team.
Well, Thomas out for the year now too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't disagree. I mean, they are 10-3, and I know they've kind of patchworked things together, but they're still playing pretty well. I don't think they have enough to beat the Chiefs, but they're no.
Hoovy picks the Saints almost every week. By the way,
they've been covering spreads like crazy.
I know.
If you put a minus 3.5 in front of me with or something, you say -3.
Yeah,
I'm taking that all day with the Chiefs.
Yeah, they're 3 points better than everybody in the league.
I think so too. The Sunday night game somehow is the Browns and the Giants. The Browns obviously are playing very well, having their best season since 2001. They're the 5 seed currently in the NFL or in the AFC. The Giants are 5-8. That whole NFC East, but that should not be the Sunday night game. What are we doing here?
Yeah, why do we have the flex there? If it's there for a reason.
Yeah. Exactly. And I know we've talked about this a million times, but the Monday night game's just as boring. I mean, the Steelers and the Bengals, I know it's the AFC North, but the Bengals just decided this morning who their quarterback is. They're a 14-point dog. Why are we playing that game on a Monday night?
The Steelers are frauds too. So, and that's not a team that's going to bring a whole lot of entertainment value to a game.
Yeah, I don't get those two. Browns are a 6-point favorite. I think they're going to cover that. And Daniel Jones is not playing. Colt McCoy will be starting for the Giants. And who did Ryan Finley, sorry.
Tomato.
Yeah, you pick a name. It doesn't matter. The Bengals stink. Let's move into some college football. All the conference championships are wrapped up. That means they will be announcing, I believe, on Tuesday who will be playing in the college football Final Four. So, boys, who are your Final Four is my question here. I will start. I'm going to go Alabama, Clemson. I'm going to go, oh, boy.
The selection show's tomorrow, or it's on Sunday.
Oh, it is? It is not Sunday. Okay. I don't know if they're
going to wait. Sunday
there
at 11 o'clock.
Full day of coverage.
Yep. Sunday at 11 o'clock.
So I'll go.
I think Notre Dame gets in.
I think Texas A&M should be in instead of Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. I don't think Notre Dame necessarily should get in. I think Notre Dame will get in.
I think you're right, especially. I mean, if you think about.
I also don't think Texas A&M deserves to be in either.
I don't think. I think.
What?
They have one loss to Alabama. That's their only loss this year.
Yeah, but Notre Dame's only loss was to Clemson, and they also beat Clemson in turn. That at the end of the day, the resume is slightly better, all because they've beaten the team that beat them.
Sure.
I mean, that's the only thing. That's the only reason I think they get in, and it's Notre Dame. The money value for Notre Dame is one of the few programs that's bigger than A&M. A&M's probably a top 10, but Notre Dame's a top 5.
We got to get to an 8-team playoff.
Yes. If anything comes out of this year, be
absolutely,
an 8-team
Zach.
And I think
absolutely
all the teams that went undefeated, Cincinnati. I mean, we talked about
Cincinnati deserves to be in.
Shit, throw San Jose State in it. I don't care. Give me all the undefeated teams. Let the system play out. Give me 8, and let's go.
I say you go to 12. You have a play-in between the non-power 5s.
Yep.
You take 2 non-power 5s to get you to the 8 teams. So you take 6 from the power 5, 2 teams from the not. You play a week before that. 4 teams play into those 2 spots for the non-power 5s. So this year you would have had Cincy, Coastal, say
San Jose State,
and maybe BYU. Whatever.
Yeah, I'm with the.
So the two
Cincinnati
winners of the 2 games there go in and take the 8 and 7 spots.
And I'm not saying what San Jose did was like it wasn't good, but like that's tough though. I mean, Cincinnati's playing some better teams, but you know what I mean. Like, yeah, that would be a spot for teams that maybe wouldn't have a chance here with the 4.
Exactly. Does everybody think Ohio State gets in?
Yeah, I don't see it. They can't win that game, and
I don't think that the NCAA has enough cojones to keep the Big Ten out of it.
I mean, they're there for a reason. They shouldn't even been in that game anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they pushed them into the game, and then now they get to go in. Like you can't push a team in like that, and then they win, and then not get in.
The other thing for me is the only time an at-large team has made the college football playoff that wasn't even a part of a conference title game was Alabama. This A&M team ain't that Alabama team. That Alabama team ended up winning it all. I think it was 2000. Well, I want to say it was 2009, but I just don't see how A&M gets in. I really don't. I think they might be better than Notre Dame. If those 2 teams played, like this is where it's like, give me a play-in game between those 2 teams.
Exactly.
Fight a week beforehand. Fight your way in.
Even if you have an 18 player, like one's a 5 seed, one's a 4 seed, they're going to see each other. That game is the kind of deciding factor. I hope.
Yeah, I think A&M might be a better team.
Yeah, I don't disagree. So yeah, we'll see today who gets in, who doesn't. Anything else in sports? Iowa falls to Gonzaga in college hoops. Man, that Gonzaga team is good, but Iowa kind of showed their own. They were in it the whole time, and I think Gonzaga is just a different animal right now. Now, the big thing here with Gonzaga is to see if they continue it. Obviously, they have a smaller conference schedule, but can they, run the table? They've yet to show that, so we'll see.
They are far and away the best team, in my opinion.
Yes.
I think Baylor is also right there.
Baylor's good.
Baylor's good. You're not wrong, Zach.
Also, we learned. Go ahead.
I just think the Zags just have so much depth. It's just player after player after player. They go 8-9 guys of just absolute studs right now, and Mark Few, what he's done for that program, it's absolutely bananas.
He's the best coach in college basketball right now, without a doubt.
Probably right. You're probably right.
Probably the best recruiter out there. I mean, the guy scours every corner of the earth to get guys.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. Obviously, they're. I don't know what they're non-conference. I think they're going to try and make up that game with Baylor, is what they said. We'll see if that happens. But obviously, once they get into conference play, St. Mary's and BYU will be teams that they're going to have to face. But other than that, not a ton of challenges left for Gonzaga. Got to keep the pace. We also learned today something, or confirmed something today that we all knew, is that an 11-year-old is much better at golf than any of us. Charlie Woods and his dad played a round today, and it was pretty clear. I didn't watch it, but I was following it on Twitter, and it's pretty clear that Charlie Woods is better at golf at 11 years old than any of us will ever be.
I didn't watch really any of that, but I saw he got an eagle on a hole. And
has everybody in this podcast gotten an eagle? Because
I think I've got one.
I have not.
I think I have a few, because if you play at the course we do, there's a lot of opportunities if you can get a hold of it. Yeah. But it's pretty wild. Like, their swings are the same.
Exact same. Like carbon copy.
Yeah.
You can tell flat out badass is genetic, apparently.
It was also cool to see the bad side of Tiger Woods.
Yes.
He was so pumped up after he got the eagle and everything. Like, it's just awesome to see.
It was really cool to see, like, Tiger lining up putts for his 11-year-old kid. Like you said,
awesome.
The parent side of him come out. That was pretty neat. So, more of that. More Charlie Woods, and then John Daly Jr. or whatever it is. John Daly's kid is also a stud at golf. He just signed to play Arkansas. So it'll be interesting to see if we see, some of these guys we grew up with, their kids, if they make it to the tour and all that stuff. So,
like my dad was saying, that doesn't really happen a lot in golf.
No, it really doesn't. This is something new. You don't see a ton of.
Jack Nicklaus's kid was pretty good. He played on the tour for a little while.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Last thing in sports, Illinois, moving on from Lovie Smith, hires former Wisconsin and Arkansas coach Brett Bielema for a 6-year deal. You guys like that hire for Illinois?
Yeah, I do. Do you know he's from Prophetstown?
Yes.
Yeah, I did not know that.
I didn't know that either.
Like 45 minutes west of here.
I think it's a good hire. I don't know, like, that's a good hire for Illinois right now.
I think it's a good hire.
Obviously, I don't think he had the chops to do it in the SEC, and they obviously didn't have the success over the years. But he's kind of back in his roots, like you said, Zach. He's from the state. He's got his
recruit local.
Yep, you've got to be able to get the suburb kids, the Catholic League kids, and then obviously St. Louis, that area. But and his connections obviously to Wisconsin are huge as well. So I hope for good things, but just didn't pan out for Lovie.
Gotta recruit.
And
everything.
I did see that Lovie wants to go back to the NFL as a defensive coordinator. You guys think he's got a future back in the NFL?
Yeah, I think he does. I think if he wants to be a defensive coordinator, he for sure does.
Yeah.
Head coach?
I think you'll have to modify his cover too a little bit, because I think the athletic quarterbacks these days will.
Yeah, but you know what I mean, though. I don't think he's got a spot as a coach, probably right now at least, but he does as a defensive coordinator, and it's good that he knows that. And I think he will be. I think he'll be a good defensive coordinator for somebody.
Even if it's not a coordinator, like bring him in as like a linebackers coach or a line.
That guy knows more
defense.
He has more football knowledge in his pinky than like most people do.
He's forgotten more about football than a lot of people.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
A treasure trove of knowledge. But boys, anything else on the TCF Sports Minute?
Sports.
And that was the TCF Sports Minute for this weekend. But let's move into our media recommendations. Remember, this can be podcasts, albums, TV shows, movies. I'll start off. I got 2. And this is two that probably a lot of people, or at least one that a lot of people have seen, and I'm just now getting started on it. Game of Thrones. That's definitely not in my realm of things. My wife loves it, so we started watching it, and I'm getting into it. You got to give it a couple seasons. There's too many people. I will say that. I can't wait till the fourth season where people start dying before I don't have to remember who a lot of people are. But it is a very well shot. It looks cool. There's some, it's medieval swords and dragons and stuff, which I said is not really my thing, but it is captivating. So if you get HBO Max, check out Game of Thrones. Obviously, a million people have already seen it. And I have a podcast. Two comedians I enjoy a lot have a podcast out now called Guns Blazin', GUNSBLAZIN, and that is Sean Latham, who me and Zach went and saw perform stand-up about a little over a year ago, and Todd McComas, who used to be on the Pat McAfee show. They're just two comedians just chopping it up for about an hour an episode. Hilarious. Two really funny dudes. So check out Guns Blazin' podcast.
My media recommendation is going to be kind of weird. I don't know if you guys have seen this. It's called Stool Streams. It's what Barstool does, and they play Jenga. And it's like an intense game of Jenga, and it's like a whole series, like a whole they have like a season and then playoffs. This is some of the most exciting stuff I've watched.
That's awesome.
I don't know if I've never played Jenga with like the big blocks and stuff, but that looks so much fun. I
think at it.
Like, dude, they're getting up to like 40 blocks taken out. And like the whole thing swaying, and some of the moves you can make on that is intense, and I would love to try it. But it's cool the way they do it. Like they have announcers, and they have like people down like around the Jenga blocks, just kind of like talking and stuff. Like it's a great production.
Good choice. I like it. I think it's a great choice. That's been very entertaining. I haven't watched a ton of it, but when I have,
and you can.
It's captivating to say the least.
There's an app called I think it's called Play Barstool, and it gives you like 6 different questions, and it's pretty much who you think's gonna win, pull the block, and then how many blocks are gonna be pulled. And if you win all 6 of them by somehow, and there's like $1,000 cash prizes, and it's for free. So. It's always fun.
That's pretty sweet.
Can't go wrong there. My recommendation is a podcast. It's the Titus and Tate podcast, college basketball podcast with Mark Titus and Tate Frazier. I like it especially because Tate Frazier is a Carolina alum, so he's really connected to the program there. Knows a lot of the players in the past, and has a lot of knowledge about the program. So it's nice from my perspective there. Outside of that, though, him and Titus are both hilarious. They're both really funny dudes, know a ton about the game. They got a lot of good interviews and stuff when they get people on. Great inside look at college basketball with a humorous approach to it. And they rip on Coach K, so I can always get behind that. So yeah,
I started listening to Tom Rothstein's podcast because I love
that guy. I like that guy. He's
like almost too smart. He knows almost too much.
And he's so over the top corny that it's enjoyable.
Yes, I love it. Good choices, fellas, on the media recs. If you need any other media recommendations, hit us up on Twitter. We all are big podcast listeners, obviously, and probably all subscribe to 20+ podcasts. So,
Boomy has another app just for the podcast that he doesn't want to listen to all the time.
Yeah, so I use Spotify for podcasts I listen to daily or at least weekly, and then I use Google Podcasts for ones that are not time sensitive. A lot of history podcasts, comedy podcasts, stuff like that. I keep on Google Podcasts so I can kind of bounce, and my screen doesn't get too convoluted on Spotify. So that's the OCD in me, though. So let's move in. We have our TCF top 3 of Christmas stuff. Now, here's what we're gonna do, and we've done different variations of these kinds of drafts. We'll snake draft it, but you have to take 3 different topics. One is a Christmas song. One is a Christmas movie, and the third is going to be a Christmas activity, something you do around Christmas time, basically something you would do in the month of December. So, does anybody want to go first?
I'll go first. You want me to pick a specific category first, or do I get?
You can pick whichever of the categories you would like.
All right, movie. I'm going to pick, and this is probably going to catch me some flack here. I'm going to go with Home Alone 2.
Not a bad pick.
As my favorite Christmas movie. I'm not going to say it's the best. I'm not going to say it's the most emotional, the most well written, blah, blah. For me, it harkens back to a time in my childhood, and it's a movie that I think is completely enjoyable. Good actors, good storyline, good scenery, and it just hits every year. So yeah, mine's Home Alone 2.
I'll go with my movie. I'm gonna go and we kind of poo-pooed on some people from this movie. I'm gonna go National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. There's a lot of good choices in this category, but I'm a big National Lampoon guy. I wish I wouldn't have learned that Chevy Chase is like one of the most hated actors in Hollywood, because that movie is incredible. And it's I'm not a fan of the Christmas Story or whichever one they play for 24 hours. That one, it was never really around my house growing up, so I just never did it for me. But ever since I was probably a preteen, have loved anything National Lampoon, and obviously Christmas Vacation is up there. Zach, what's your second round choice?
I'm gonna go with movie. I'm gonna go with Die Hard.
Oh God.
I'm gonna go with Elf. Elf is my favorite movie.
Good choice.
Don't hate it.
It's tried and true.
I didn't know if you guys like Die Hard, the Christmas movie, right?
Shut up. We're moving on.
Yeah. Is a hot dog a sandwich? You do that one too.
How many other stupid arguments can we have here at the end of the show?
I'm going
to stick true to this, Matt. We talked about this a while ago. I'm going with a song off of my favorite Christmas album of all time, and that's "Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays" off the NSYNC Christmas album.
It's a great song.
Yeah, that's the best Christmas song. If you can't get down on NSYNC's Christmas album, I Don't Want to Be Around You. Don't come in here with that. That's the best Christmas album I've ever listened to, and that's the best song on it. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, NSYNC. Let's go.
Yeah, it's a good one. That I can't argue. It's a very, very good song. It's on my tried and true Christmas playlist. I'm gonna go with my song though, and it's by Darlene Love. It's called "Christmas." Baby, please come home. Absolute banger of a song. It screams Christmas when you hear it. And then what is it? Activity. Activity is the last one.
Yep.
Is there anything better than building a really, really, really solid snow fort?
No, not at all.
Like having a snowball fight and getting the whole crew out. When you got cousins and aunts and uncles and shit on one side, and maybe a bunch of other kids from the neighborhood that are with their cousins on the other side, and it's just an all-out brawl. All-out brawl. Get the snow forts, get the snowballs, pack a little bit of ice, make them real hard, bust up the kids.
Sneak a rock in there.
Yeah, bust up the kid's lip that, talks a lot of smack.
Boomy would throw the rock.
Yeah, you just got to, just a little one. Not enough to cause real damage, just a sting. Just a little bit.
I one time I would just stand around, got a rock right to the head, right here.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Yeah, here we go. Cousins are going at it. They're throwing rocks at each other.
You probably threw the rock.
It was probably me. Yeah.
If there was anybody who was going to throw a rock at somebody else on the podcast, it's Boomy. There's no question.
I definitely fought with Crunch.
No question.
I'm not denying.
Is it my pick or?
Yeah, you're up for your last pick.
We have activities.
No, it's mine.
Okay.
This is very, very specific, but I have to shout this out. We did, Zach, his parents and mine, we all did this growing up. But it was a family trip we took every year out to the Amana colonies out in Iowa. When I think Christmas, it's like their Christmas prelude, or like the month before Christmas, where they have all the shops open, and it's, the little German town or whatever. But the food is always the absolute best.
You get a damn fine cabinet while you're there too.
You can get a damn cabinet. You can get.
I went one time.
Really? I went probably 15 times in my life.
I think I've only been once.
You were missing out. That literally screams Christmas to me.
I can see Boomy doing the Chris Crindle market downtown too. With
I'd be all in.
The hot wine.
There was a play there that was going on. Boomy was probably in that one.
I was probably singing. And
I can just see Boomy just like carrying cinnamon sticks around for the month of December because it's Christmas time. Like,
the horse and buggy comes, picks you up from the play, takes you to the hotel.
Yeah.
He
is a very cultured guy. I can tell.
That's what the people say about me.
I've been there a lot of times, just not a lot during Christmas time.
See, I probably have been there more
during takes Christmas. The theater.
Well, Boomy, if you've gone 15 times during Christmas, yeah, you're going to go more than... I don't think you've been to Amana 15 times other than... What are you talking about, Boomy?
I don't know. It's late on a Friday. I'm a little delirious here.
I'm just messing, but yeah, I think I might be the only cousin that's only gone once.
Well, Zach, maybe next year when the world is back to normal, we'll take a TCF trip out for the Christmas prelude in Amana, and we can ride a horse and buggy and get some great German food and even a damn fine dresser if we have to.
I may have to pass.
No,
I was going to say, I can think of a couple things that I might rather.
My grandma's
do.
Listening. She's not going to like that.
This is turning into a Scrooge podcast here. What are we doing?
What? So, not even going to say it, Boomy. You know how cold it is where that play is? It's freezing in there.
Suck it up, Buttercup.
Dude, it was cold. It was cold.
Oh, it's cold.
All right, Maddie.
I think I'm done. I got my 3.
No. I'm just asking, would you want to go?
Oh, no. Absolutely not.
You guys suck.
No. I'd rather go sledding.
I'm pretty sure my sister's been 15 times, though.
Yeah, your sister's probably been more than I have.
But
Zach, what's your pick?
Oh, it's the activity, right?
Yep.
Going to Amana, obviously.
No,
yeah.
Not even one. Hates Christmas.
Not going.
Not going to Amana.
Sitting on Santa's lap
having the house to himself while the rest of the family goes to Amana.
I'm not going to be allowed at Christmas this year after this.
No, if Grandma gets a hold of this, you are in trouble, buddy.
Sitting on Santa's lap at the mall. It's got to be yours.
No. I am working on losing the weight though, so
I'm gonna end up being a Santa, I think, at some point in my life. It's scary.
You keep that beard going. You're in line.
I don't have the white yet. I got an occasional strand that appears white, but it's not the full effect yet. So,
Zach, can I offer a suggestion?
No, I've got it. This is just a thing for me. When I was younger, we used to when everyone would leave and you get home by the family would be home, we'd get all of our presents out and you kind of just go through what everybody got and just kind of end Christmas that way.
Yeah, I can't. You guys always had Grandma and Grandpa stay at your house too, right?
No, I'm talking the Christmas Day.
Oh, okay. I see.
That night. You kind of go through everything you got and just kind of tell
you know what's super underrated about Christmas Day is having a big ass brunch, Belgian waffles and shit like that. Big old breakfast on the Christmas Day unders. Those are awesome usually, except a couple of years ago.
How do you guys feel about a white elephant exchange? Would that crack anybody's?
I'm not going to go into that either because I have 2 families that pretty much do it. Both my families do it.
Your face says it all.
I love it.
I like when people know.
Yes, I kind of agree with you.
I like buying specific gifts for people.
Yes,
I like that idea of hey, I saw this and thought of you, so I bought it for you.
Exactly.
Or I searched for it on Amazon on December 23rd, and I got 2-day shipping here for you. So.
No one's gonna want me at Christmas this year after this podcast.
I was gonna say we better wait. Hold this till after Christmas so that this guy can get uninvited.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna show up. They're gonna do start handing out the numbers for the white elephant. Is that
they just walk right by Zach?
Yeah, right by me. We heard.
Yeah, Zach doesn't want in, so.
Nope, sorry.
Not that I don't want in. I just want.
You want it your way.
I want to go back to the old way of you get this gift for this person. I used to love that.
Couldn't agree more.
Plus it's the competition of it all too, and see if every person's buying who got the most? Like, I want to size up. Where do I rank in my family? Am
Yes.
I fifth on the pecking order of receiving gifts, or am I first? You know,
how big of a dirtbag was I this year?
Yeah,
little self-evaluation.
Yeah, it's a ranking system.
Maybe we don't want to know the answer.
There's no equal purchases in terms of presents, so you always got to eye it out. You always got to canvass the room, see like, hey, my haul was good this year, but damn, that haul over there looks really solid. So what did I do wrong?
I had a good year, but Tommy had an even better.
Self-evaluation makes you better each year.
Yep. Sometimes you got to look in the mirror.
Yeah. You might find your way up higher on the good list next year.
That's true. That is true. Well, boys, that will wrap up episode 89 of Typical Chicago Fans. Thank you to our sponsors, 26shirts.com Chicago. Head on over to their website, 26shirts.com Chicago. Zach's got his shirt on. I got one right here. They're the most comfortable shirts I've ever owned. Use the promo code Typical Chicago Fans, 15% off your order. Get on it now. Christmas is like 2 weeks away. So whatever you're doing, get on it. Get those gifts sent here. Whoever you get them for is going to love you. They're going to know where they sit in the pecking order that Matt was talking about. Because
2 weeks from today, right?
Yeah, something like that.
We are recording this on Friday.
So get on it. 26shirts.com/Chicago. Promo code Typical Chicago Fans. Make sure you get all of your merch. Help out the podcast. Help out a good cause. Get 15% off your order. Make sure that you follow us on Twitter at Typical_Chicago. I am Boomy at Boomy TCF, is that what it is?
Yeah, it's been that for
like almost 3 years. Yeah. Sorry, mind fart. At Boomy TCF, Zach at Z Lillian TCF, and of course Maddie at schools_01. Check out the Facebook and Instagram page. Give us a like there. Head over to YouTube. Subscribe there for all of our content in video form. Keep your eyes open for the latest food review that we just recorded. Subscribe, rate, review on Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Spotify, Spreaker, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you follow us there. That was episode 89 of Typical Chicago Fans. We love you all.
Peace.
See you, Boom.